News 1226 on Facebook for the latest up-to-date coverage near you.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
A big honor tonight for a singing star gone too soon. We are going to be live from Riverside Village, where the Sharon Jones Amphitheater dedication is just about to get underway. We'll take you there live coming up.
Plus, it's been 3 weeks since Georgia lifted most of its COVID restrictions, and businesses say they're in a much better place now. We're checking on their return to normal. But first, we're asking questions about this video. It's making the rounds on social media and appears to show an 18-year-old getting punched in the face by a man at the Circle K off of Whiskey Road in Aiken.
Now we're learning tonight the man who threw the punch faces assault and battery charges, and law enforcement tells us he's agreed to turn himself in.
Our Celeste Springer went out today to try and find answers about what led up to this fight and where Aiken Public Safety is going from here.
It's probably on everyone's minds what caused this fight. Unfortunately, on the police incident report, the description was only 5 sentences long, leaving a lot of unanswered questions. So we went out trying to get answers to all of those. It looked more like a boxing ring than a gas station.
I was in shock. I couldn't believe that a grown person took it to that level over a truck.
That's right. The mother of a witness believes this all started over a squatted truck, similar to what you see here.
But this has been like an ongoing issue. It's like a daily thing for anybody that drives a squatted truck. They get harassed by grown men.
She says the man shouted insults at the teenagers over their trucks. They exchanged words, and this happened. The incident report doesn't shed much light on what police believed happened, but it did indicate they believed at the time the two were mutually combative, essentially both in the wrong.
The man clearly walked up to Amir and swung on him. Point blank, that's all there is to it.
The 18-year-old in the video did not press charges last night, but Aiken Public Safety tells me he changed his mind this morning. Now the man in the video has warrants out for his arrest.
Cops were called. Initially, there wasn't being a lot done about it, but Aiken Public Safety has stepped up. They're looking into it, and so hopefully something will be done about it soon.
Parents hope people will act more kindly when their kids are out around town.
It could have gotten a lot worse, and that's what I basically want to tell all these grown people in Aiken. It's getting out of hand. It's going too far, and it could have been a lot worse yesterday.
And say hopefully this all ends here. The man who threw the punch in that video faces a third-degree assault charge as well as another charge for breaching the peace. Aiken County Public Safety says he's been compliant and he plans to turn himself in later tonight. In Aiken, Celeste Springer on your side.
Celeste, thank you. We just checked in with the Aiken Public Safety in the last 20 minutes. They say the man has not yet turned himself in, and while the department says both people in the video were deemed mutually combative last night, no charges are being brought against that 18-year-old at this time. Much more news ahead after we give you a live weekend in just a little bit.
A Columbia County high school is mourning the loss of one of its students after investigators say her ex-boyfriend shot and killed her. Brinley Kitchens was a 20-year-old student, a graduate of Lakeside High School in Evans. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office says she died yesterday at a UMC. She was first admitted Wednesday night in critical condition after authorities say her ex-boyfriend shot her in the face. This is her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old Jaden Ross. He was arrested Wednesday night in Hephzibah on aggravated assault and weapons charges and is now also charged with Kitchens' murder. Meanwhile, the Lakeside High community says they are remembering Kitchens as a beautiful, kind girl. You're looking right now at a memorial for her. It's right outside of the school. You can see the big rock there has been painted to say, "Rest easy, Brinley, we love you." We just had the chance to talk to a family friend within the last hour who says she had the biggest heart for others.
So magnetic, and like you didn't even have to know her personally, and she would like come up to you, and she didn't have to, it would be a stranger, and she would just tell you how beautiful you were.
We've asked about funeral arrangements or any plans for a candlelight vigil, but we'll keep you posted.
We're going on a week now with the search for two men who went missing while boating on Clark's Hill. Today, the search took to the sky with a chopper joining in the effort. We're told crews will continue that search for Edward Kirk and Ian Wilson into the weekend. There is a candlelight service set for the two men Sunday night, 6 o'clock at Meadowbrook Park. An investigation underway after a burglary this morning at Augusta Mall. We were not allowed to get too close to the scene, but we do have this picture to share with you from one of the main entrances. Shattered glass there. The sheriff's office says they responded to a burglary call around 4 in the morning. We're told a suspect stole an unknown amount of jewelry from the JCPenney store. At this point, we're still waiting for a description on that suspect.
The GBI is joining an investigation in Screven County after someone riding by on a golf cart found a body in a ditch. The sheriff's office says they found 61-year-old Thomas Winston last night off of Highway 21, about a half a mile south of Sylvania. Right now, authorities say they believe he had been there about a day and a half before he was found. They're still trying to figure out how he died, but we can confirm there were no gunshot wounds. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Higher pay, new equipment, and new management. Those are the list of demands from a group of employees with the Augusta-Richmond County landfill. This morning, a little more than a dozen of them went on strike. They say they've been patient, waiting for changes, but this was the next step. We've reached out to the city administrator for his response to the issue, and we're still waiting to hear back.
Happening now, the city of North Augusta getting ready to honor the late and legendary soul singer Sharon Jones. In the next few minutes, they're going to be dedicating the amphitheater in Riverside Village to Sharon, which will now be known as the Sharon Jones Amphitheater.
News 12's Kennedy Harris is there live for us. Kennedy, we know tickets sold out for this event, so what's on tap for the rest of the night there behind you?
Laura, there is a packed night planned, and it's really just now getting started. I'm going to step out the way and give you a look of what's going on. Before the concert begins, Augusta Mayor Bob Pettit will join Sharon Jones' sister, Willa Stringer, to unveil one of the 2 plaques that will be placed at the front of the amphitheater. The mayor says those plaques will tell Jones' life story and show a full-size image of her performing. And earlier, I spoke with the lead singer of the band performing tonight. He's a good friend of the late soul singer, and he says she couldn't be more deserving of this honor.
You know, a woman, an African-American woman in the South gets honored like this is a great thing. But, you know, aside from all that, she deserves it because she was darn good. She was exceptionally talented. She was an exceptionally great human being, very caring, very loving, and always was willing to have a good time, had a big, big smile on her face, even fighting cancer.
And as restrictions loosen, this is just one of the big events planned for this weekend. Tonight at 11, we'll look at how we're inching closer and closer back to our old normal. Laura?
We know that Sharon would be looking down. We know she is looking down, smiling on that amphitheater tonight. Going to be a great celebration. Thanks, Kennedy. Another big event this weekend, a birthday celebration for the godfather of soul. The James Brown birthday block party is tomorrow from 2 to 8 downtown along James Brown Boulevard. You can expect a day full of art, music, and dancing. Organizers for the block party say masks and social distancing will be enforced out there.
Well, it's been 3 weeks now since the majority of COVID restrictions were lifted in Georgia, and just in the last few minutes, Governor Brian Kemp lifting even more restrictions like mask requirements for restaurant and bar employees. Our local businesses say it's really starting to feel like the old days again.
While capacity and social distancing guidelines are a thing of the past, Georgia's public health state of emergency is still in effect. News 12's Brady Trapnell downtown at the Stillwater Tap Room for us. So, Brady, state of emergency just recently renewed. What does that mean? Does it translate to anything really for businesses?
Not really, Laura, but that public health emergency does pertain to keeping certain health efforts ongoing to fight the pandemic. But with many of those state guidelines lifted, Stillwater Tap Room says things are essentially back to normal.
The glasses are no longer empty, and neither are Matt Flynn's pockets.
I'm glad we're actually putting money into the checking account, you know, instead of just treading water. So
We last spoke with Matt Flynn, owner of Stillwater Tap Room, back in June, as bars were set to reopen.
from March through, I guess, June when the reopen happened, that was pretty painful.
But thanks to happy hour and relaxing restrictions, his bar is in a better place.
We're pretty content with the way things are headed. We've expanded our seating areas up top for people to spread out a little bit more.
Life is coming back to downtown, and vaccinations are bringing a much-needed sense of normalcy. But is it too soon for no rules?
We're getting very close to where we need to be.
Dr. Roger MacArthur with AU has been studying trends in numbers throughout the pandemic. He says the situation continues to get better.
So, for instance, the Atlanta Braves are going to increase to full capacity on May 7th at the stadium, outdoor stadium. And I'm okay with that.
But that doesn't mean to throw all caution to the wind. He says there needs to be caution even after the health emergency ends. Either way, Matt Flynn doesn't see his business changing too much.
I don't know how much it would really affect us. I think, again, it's up to the customer, their comfort level.
And Stillwater Tap Room says many of its customers and staff have been fully vaccinated, and they say as many of their friends also start to get vaccinated, that this place feels sort of like a safe haven.
More shots in arms, Brady. That will be a good thing. And on the South Carolina side, the city of Aiken is getting set to take another look at its mask ordinance. City Council expected to meet on Wednesday to consider repealing that. It was first approved back in November of last year and requires a mask in city restaurants and businesses. If City Council decides to repeal that, the ordinance will expire next Thursday at 6 in the morning. Okay, first it was Mel Gibson. Now we've had not one but two more celebrity spottings in downtown Augusta. Look who showed up last night at Luigi's. That is country superstar Eric Church on the left, former pro golfer Ben Crenshaw, Masters champion there. I'm sorry, that's reversed. That's Ben on the left and country star on the right. Luigi captioning the photos. Just another Thursday night in downtown Augusta. How about that?
They have had a lot of famous people in Luigi lately.
Quite a roll, and that's the second time I've seen Ben spotted there. He was there during Masters Week as well.
Condoleezza Rice.
That's right. He had the secretary over there at Luigi's downtown. Riley, now that we're all hungry,
I know.
let's talk about the weather.
It looks like Eric Church may have been out in the sun. He was pretty burnt in that picture, but
Serving you.
There are 2 new schools coming to Aiken County. The Board of Education moving ahead with its plans to build a new elementary and middle school in the Belvedere Clearwater area. News 12 City Heiberger has a first look at the designs for those schools and how they're accommodating all the growth we're seeing lately.
The district says growth in the western parts of the county has far exceeded their projections, which has forced them to split this project into 2 phases and increase their budget. What was originally planned as a middle school housing 350 students will now need to hold 750 to make the project worthwhile.
The projections that we had for building the school previously simply would not have met the need that will be there once the school is actually completed.
The Highland Springs schools were originally voted on through a bond referendum in 2018. The projected cost for an attached middle and elementary school was $32 million. But the district is now learning with major growth comes a major price tag.
The cost of construction has gone up, and we did not appropriate sufficient amount of money to meet the current building costs.
To accommodate increased costs, the project has been broken into phases. Phase 1 includes the middle school and parts of the elementary school. It comes in at nearly $51 million. Phase 2 finishes up the elementary school. It's expected to cost more than $19 million, giving the district a grand total of nearly $71 million.
This will be able to relieve some of that pressure, especially in middle school. That's why we chose the middle school, build first.
The extra money, Rogers says, will come from the district's cyclical funds that's put aside for maintenance jobs. The road has been bumpy, but the district ready to move forward. And the district says work on phase 1 will start hopefully this summer or early fall and be done the end of 2022. Reporting in Aiken County, Sydney Heiberger on your side.
One of the concerns here is what the increased budget will mean for other building projects in the county, like updating Wagner Sally and Silver Bluff High Schools. But Chairman Bradley says it could mean a delay for some of those projects, but the school district says they can likely use funds from other areas like bond premiums to try to keep things on track.
Well, Mother's Day is coming up on the next weekend, and if you've wanted to wait until the last minute to get a gift again this year, flowers are always an option.
That is true. You may want to get your orders in soon, though, because our local florists say they are already seeing that Mother's Day rush. News 12's Brianna Collier went downtown to Flowers on Broad to check out how they've been getting ready.
Mother's Day every year is the biggest week of the year for a florist.
Starting weeks, even months in advance.
We started pushing on all of our social media networks about a month ago, trying to remind people it's coming. Get your orders in.
It's all hands on deck for Flowers on Broad when it comes to Mother's Day. It's also a time when many people procrastinate and wait to get the right gift for mom.
Our most popular for Mother's Day is probably two different items. One is either just a mixed spring bouquet of all mixed colors, mixed flowers, or tulips. The tulips seem to be the go-to for moms.
Owner Brett Slagle says they were blessed to make it through COVID thanks to their online services, with sales up about 27% from 2019.
This year and last year seem to be trending higher than previous years. The dollar amount has seemed to be increased substantially. Average amount is probably running between $75 and $100 per order.
Even still, he says whether it's flowers or even chocolate, making mom feel special is really what it's all about.
It's amazing what just a single flower does. Regardless of if somebody is spending $100 or $150 on their mom on flowers, a single $3 rose can get the same effect.
And that's coming from a guy trying to make money. So, take his word for it. Mom just wants to feel special, but he is encouraging you to get those orders in quickly. There is a point they'll cut off orders when they've taken as many as they can pump out on Mother's Day.
Yeah, don't forget mom. It's always good to have a reminder this early to make our
Start early. Preparation's always key.
The simple things like breakfast in bed for this mother, right?
Yes.
That's all she asks for.
Massages, facials, days of service.
If you want to see the list, you'll publish it online.
Yes.
Mother's Day isn't this Sunday, though, right?
Next Sunday.
Don't panic, Riley.
But today is a good day to start planning for it,
Yes. You do. Make sure, especially if your mom doesn't live in the same city, you got to make sure
You gotta mail
the
it.
gift reaches her in time. So,
That's true.
yeah, next weekend, not this weekend.
Yes.
But this weekend's looking good. Bringing into the region. Highs near 90 Monday and Tuesday.
Breaking news just into our newsroom. We're learning a Richmond County school will move to fully virtual learning next week. The district says students at Bel Air K-8 school will learn from home from Monday, May 1st to Monday, May 10th because of increased COVID activity at the school. Now, the last time we had to deal with something like this, a Richmond County school transitioned to learn from home, that was back on March 2nd. So it has been a while, and parents are probably just trying to get through that hump to the summer, but another learn from home moment for them. Just ahead in sports, 3 student athletes at Grovetown have a lot to be excited about on their signing day. Plus, did you see the dog taken in the first round of the draft last night? Mike's got it if you didn't, coming up.